You know what time it is. You know what time it is.
How firm thy friendship. Oh,
you know what time it is. I'm raw with them boys of the fall. You know what time it is. On the ground with a nose for the ball. You know what time it is. Blood, sweat, and them tears for this game. Leaving it all out on the field with no fear for you lames. Yeah, you know what time it is. Come brawl with them boys of the fall. Covered in gray and scarlet, massive, stiff arms to your jaw. We breaking it. We sick of seeing you clowns with the crown. We taking it.
Hey, welcome to the Buckeye Boys. I'm your host, Sean Schrock. We're here with Tony from Curse Designs. This is the fan channel, by the fans, for the fans. And tonight we are going to have our prediction show. How are you doing tonight, Tony?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you doing?
Good, man. One day away, man. It's almost like Christmas Eve. You know what I'm saying?
It's coming. It is definitely coming.
Oh, man. Tonight we got Notre Dame, Penn State. I want to give a shout out to the chat. Mark P, Mello, Tyler, Steely, TG, big Buck fan. Great to see you on tonight.
Absolutely.
All right, tonight we're going to do our prediction show. We're also going to give out 2 offensive guys and 2 defensive guys we think are going to stand out tonight, and I have a couple crazy predictions for the game. Stuff we don't expect to happen or might happen. Daryl, thanks for popping in. Tyler.
What's up, Mello?
All right. Start this off, Tony. Give me one offensive guy you think is going to pop tomorrow.
I'm going to steal because this is easy. And if he has to for us to win the game, we'll have it. Big Willie style.
Well, what kind of prediction you think what kind of stats you looking for him to put up, man?
I'm going to say, dude, they got a good defense. I'm going to say he throws for 276, but 3 touchdowns, 2 to JJ, and 1 to Brandon Ennis.
Nice.
Yep.
It'd be nice to see Ennis get some more playing time and make a couple plays, man. It seems like he kind of gets lost in the shuffle there.
Yeah,
but I mean,
he does do work, buddy.
Hey, man, when he's down on the goal line, man, he's throwing those blocks, man. He's pancaked a couple guys. I mean, he's got that dog in him. I will go with my first one that I think is going to have a real good game is I'm going to say Travion Henderson. Yep. I think he's going to pop for over 100 yards. Probably going to have about 6 or 7 receptions to go along with his. I'm looking probably 15 to 20 carries, maybe, depending on how they split it up with Q. Usually Q gets maybe a couple more, depending on who the hot hand is. But I'd like to see him get about 15 touches and over 100 yards, and I'd say 1 or 2 TDs.
Yeah, I feel like that. I feel like that's in the game plan.
What is the second player on offense you're going to go with, buddy?
Oh man, I'm going stereotypical here, but like you can't not name him. JJ. He's going to catch. What is it? 2 passes from Will. He's going to get some runs, and I predict one of his touchdowns is going to be another long one, like the screen kind of pass against Oregon or whatever. I have a feeling like eventually, like it may not be at first. We might struggle for first 2 quarters or something, but I feel like eventually at the end of the game, you're going to see that their Thorpe Award winner was not the one who was supposed to win the Thorpe Award. I don't care who tells me that. You're not going to convince me.
No. Well, the thing is, like, they finally figured out these last 2 games going through the playoffs that to run the offense through JJ, man. I mean, no one can guard him. I mean, he's gonna take up 2 or 3 guys to cover him. So even if you just fake it to him, I mean, he's gonna, with all the attention he gets, it's gonna leave Carnell. It's gonna leave, Emeka wide open, and it's also gonna help them running backs out of the backfield. One guy I'm gonna go for. My second pick on offense, it's going to be kind of a surprise pick, but I'm going to say G. Scott. I think G. Scott is going to have a big game. I think no one's going to pay any attention to him. I mean, he had that 1 big catch starting the game last game, but I think the tight end is going to be wide open.
Yep.
I think we're going to be wide open this game, and I think he's going to have I say probably 4 or 5 receptions, and I say a touchdown. Now, defensively, it's going to be a pretty big game. Who do you think on your defensive side you're taking, Tony?
I think I'm going to say Jack Sawyer. I'm going to say Jack Sawyer gets 2.5 sacks, 6 tackles.
Captain Jack, nice. I am going to go with
honorary captain of the family, Captain Jack.
I am going to go with Lathan Ransom.
Lathan Ransom playing like a man possessed, sir.
I'm going to say about 10 tackles.
Oh, Jesus.
A couple breakups. I'm going to go with an interception for Latham.
I feel it.
I mean, those two safeties have been playing at such a high level this year. I mean, since they've switched around the defense where they got Caleb Downs playing that middle, like the center fielder. I mean, like a rover, and that cover 2. I mean, the guy's been they've just been unstoppable, man.
Yeah, him and Lathan got people seeing shadows and ghosts places they ain't never seen them before in their whole life. You know,
man, they were smoking people so hard last game, got people tapping out, cracking. I mean, they've been cracking helmets. People have been tapping out.
Yep.
I look for more of the same, tomorrow night, man. One more for you, Tony.
They were probably -100, -150 or so to crack a helmet tomorrow. So that's the betting odds at this point. Second player, you know what? Just because he's been playing out of his mind, Cody Simon, just the block O for the win every time.
I'm not going to go Cody, but I'm going to pick his running mate with him. I'm going to say Sonny Styles. I love the way Sonny's been playing. And it's finally, that switch is finally flipped for him, man. He's finally got that linebacker position, figured out. He's playing at a fast level. He's playing violent. He's flying around. He doesn't have to think. He knows he's got it down now, finally. It took him a little bit. And you know what? Everybody was on him at the beginning of the year. When you switch from safety to linebacker, it's a big switch, man. When you're at linebacker, when you're at safety, the play's far away from you, so you got more time to, be able to see the play develop and react. When you're at linebacker, you're, 3 yards away from the line of scrimmage, and it's you got to be on it like now, man.
Yeah,
so
it's different footwork, and hitting holes is different than, other than like your Caleb Downs or Lathan Ransom coming down like they're shot out of a cannon. Like most people, safeties are not necessarily hitting it like that unless there's certain blitzes or whatever. So like literally, it's all different footwork. It's seeing things quicker, and who knows if part of that was him not learning as much as he should because they're playing at 60% and trying to save themselves, you know what I'm saying, for whatever part of the season. So, like, who knows? So, yeah, who knows if maybe he just had it and was, like, told to hold back or told, you know what I'm saying? Because we kind of saw gradual improvement, but it was, like, big spikes and then, like, hold back, big spikes. And I think everybody was kind of confused, I think, in general by all the tactics this year. But, like, at this point, it's working. So, like, maybe I'm just weird for thinking it was confusing.
Well, I think at the beginning of the year, I think he was thinking too much too. He had all that. You can tell when someone's not playing as fast, something's wrong. And usually he's learning a new position, so he's thinking too much. And when you're trying to think too much, you're slow to react. Now that he's comfortable, we're playing linebacker, and he knows the system and he's got it down. Now he plays fast. It's instinctual. It's like a reflex. He knows what to do, man. So.
No, yeah, James Laurinaitis said it before, like when earlier in the year, that he needed fast feet. He needed to quicken his feet. You know what I'm saying? It's not a plotting thing where you're taking angles and people, wherever you're hitting holes and killing people. You know what I'm saying? When you have to, and so I think that's the difference. I think that's the difference for it. But I think it's an adjustment. And most times they say like you have to be born a linebacker, but Sonny Styles is a freak. You know what I'm saying? So like obviously you don't have to be sometimes.
Well, it's in his genes, man.
Maybe he's a linebacker just learning safety. Who knows?
His pops. A lot of younger viewers don't know this, but Sonny's dad, Lorenzo Styles Sr., was one bad man playing inside linebacker. That dude was a dude, man. He would take someone's head off. He was tough nose. One heck of a college linebacker. I think he played maybe a year or two in the pros, but he was just one heck of a linebacker, man.
Yeah, I think
he was nasty, man.
Yeah, listen, and Lorenzo is coming. Like Lorenzo, it's a smart family, man. They got a good football IQ. It's a family of freaks. Like, they definitely have all the gifts. So I think I feel good about his brother being there too. You know what I'm saying, Lorenzo. So,
well, I think Lorenzo would have been farther ahead in his development if he would have, instead of starting out at receiver, he would have started out on defense. I mean, that kind of set him back. But I think he's made a great, switch over.
I agree.
Now I want to know what is the key matchup you're looking for tomorrow, Tony? What are you going to be watching that really has your eye that you want to see happen tomorrow? What's the one matchup?
I think the biggest matchup, there's two matchups I think I'm really intrigued by, and they are their defensive line, which suddenly everybody we play has got the best defensive line in the country, like every time. But also, like, I want to see all these award-winning corners and safeties. Somebody, I don't care who they put on JJ, the Nakuba kid or whatever, whoever they put on him. Like, I want to see the JJ matchup. Like, you shut him down, I'll honor your awards. Until then, zip it. I got nothing for you.
I'm going to go with our defensive line against our offensive line.
I think solid offensive line too.
I mean, their offensive line's banged up. I mean, we know how that goes since ours has been banged up the last how many weeks.
Yeah,
but I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see because the right tackle is supposed to be starting with a sprained knee. I mean, he's a tough dude. Give him credit for starting with an injury like that and trying to get his way through it. But they're missing their other tackle too. Their other tackle's been out. So, I mean, their bookend tackles are banged up. I think our defensive line is going to feast, man. I think Jack, JT, Tyreek, Ty. Then when they bring Big Mac, they bring in Kenyatta Jr. and Caden. I think our defense could pop another 8 sacks off, man, like last week.
I agree. And like, listen, I'll make another bold prediction for the third straight game, and all whatever running back does not finish the game.
Wow.
Samson didn't finish the game. Played like 3 plays. Jordan James, seeing ghost, checked out. Like, I have a feeling it will be no different for said running back here because, like, we smacked them around like they owed us money and they quit flat out.
Thing is, Texas hasn't been able to run the ball this year. And if we make them one-dimensional where we can pin our ears back and yours is going to be a sitting duck back there. I mean, he's athletic, don't get me wrong, but he's not a scrambler like, Nico was last week.
He handles pressure so horribly, dude.
So when we make them one-dimensional, we pin our ears back, we're going to feast. Them boys are going to be licking their chops, ready to go after. I mean, it's going to be like a shark and a water with blood around, man. They're going to be ready to go after Quinn Ewers, and that kid is going to be running for his life.
Yep. Yeah, I think we get him in longer. Like, obviously, he's got the shortest, pass or, yards per pass in all of college football at one point. You know what I'm saying? It's less than 7 yards a pass. And literally, he's not great over 20 yards. Like, we keep him under 20 yards. Like, yeah, he'll probably think and dunk, but, like, I think we get him trying to chuck the ball or get him in long down situations, like, and get him a little bit of pressure. He's so gun shy this year. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know how him and Carson Beck came into this year being the number 1 and 2, like, far and away favorites to the Heisman, and both of them looked like they were hot garbage.
Well, I don't know if you saw this or not, but Carson Beck entered the transfer portal. Supposedly he's going to Miami. So, I mean,
yeah, dude, he was supposed to be a number 1 draft pick and the Heisman winner this year. And now he's not even welcome in Georgia, just like Quinn's not going to be welcome in Texas. Like, what is happening, dude? Chaos.
Bonkers, man. This whole year's been crazy, just of everything that's unfolded. I mean, like you said, they were supposed to be the number 1 and number 2 pick. I mean, chance to win the Heisman. Neither one of them made it to the Heisman. Neither one of them are going to be a first round. I mean, it looks like both of them are going to be coming back for another year of college, which they both need, honestly. So
right, and not at their schools they were at this year.
Exactly. So, I mean, it'd be interesting to see where Quinn goes after it's, said and done.
Dude, tell me how 2 of the 3 people on the college football 25 game cover had trash years, and Travis Hunter had the best year ever. It's like they should have had Travis Hunter on there. Apparently, he's like, when I saw the picks, I was like, I mean, it was confusing to say the least. kind of. In hindsight, I guess maybe it's confusing. The Donovan Edwards thing confusing regardless, but either way, like Quinn Ewers, I was like, hot name, but like you pick any other quarterback, it wouldn't matter, and obviously it did not matter. So
I mean, maybe the NCAA game is going to be like the Madden game, where it's a curse if you're on the cover. You don't want to be on the cover. Do not want to be on the cover of that. I mean, honestly.
Yeah. Of course, he's got a bunch of girlfriends. Right. For a whole other problem. So.
All right, give me one more matchup that you want to see, that you're really excited to watch tomorrow, Tony.
Ryan Day versus Sark. I want to see the two offensive masterminds, apparently, and everybody's like, "Oh, Sark's the quarterback." We're like, I mean, Quinn Ewers this year, I would beg to differ. I think it's far and away Ryan Day. He's better than Lincoln. He's better than Sark. Like, and yet Sark handed out a solid whooping when he was the offensive coordinator of the Alabama team. Well, like that Alabama team was an NFL team. Like, I could have coached the offense of that team, and Devontae Smith would have still been running. So like, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the like I literally another ball protection. I put it in the show thing. Sark gets beat just as bad as Dan Lanning ends up pregnant. We got 2 gender reveal parties coming up beginning of the season next year.
Hey man, I will give Sark credit though. He has a good offensive mind. I mean, when he did kill us, in 2020 when he was running that offense. But of course, when you got Kerry Combs coaching the defense and having Tuck Borland try to guard Devontae Smith,
guard Devontae Smith. What? It's like trying to guard Devontae Smith. But I'm actually down some balls. It's wild.
But Sark's a good offensive mind, and I think Sark. We talked about this last night a little bit. TG hit on this, and she made a great point. I think Sark will be a better coach once he hands over the play calling, but he needs to find some. It's like Ryan Day did. Ryan Day had trouble handing over the play calling because you got to find someone you trust, and it took someone who's like a father figure to Ryan Day for him to give over the play calling.
And even then, he still just handed it over in the Tennessee game, basically. So what are we talking about?
Yeah. So I think Sark
called that one game. So.
And the matchup I'm really, really excited to watch is their DBs against our receivers, man. We've heard how good that their secondary is, and I'm ready to see our receivers take it to them. If our line can give Will Howard 3 to 4 seconds, there's no way their secondary can cover JJ, Emeka, or Carnell.
Or Brandon is like this.
Brandon Ennis or Bryson Rogers if he's in, or look.
Yeah. Or Crenshaw or Trey if they got like. I really think I know they have a good defense, but we've heard that every single time. The question mark's been our offensive line against their defensive line, their secondary versus our wide receivers, their wide receivers versus our secondary, and like every game now, the last 2 games has been. Well, that wasn't really a battle.
Yeah,
and it does concern me because they do have a good defense. But like I also saw Jalen Milroe and them smoke them.
I mean, they have great defensive talent.
Georgia smoked them twice. Sorry, maybe not Jalen Milroe, but like Georgia smoked them twice, going away with Carson Beck. Like, I
mean, they have great defensive players. There's no doubt they got talent. I mean, they wouldn't be here if they didn't. But sometimes it's like that defense. Their team doesn't play as a team. So I think that's very interesting to see how they handle it tomorrow. If it's going to be a bunch of individuals out there, or if they're going to actually play as a team. But I think either way, I think we jump out early on them and it's over. Just like the last 2 weeks. Just get that ball right away. Put some points on the board. Make them one-dimensional, and there'll be no turning back, and we'll be off to the races again.
Well, yeah, and especially because Texas has floundered the second half of every game just about this year. You know what I'm saying? You saw they were trying to give. They took off to 17 points so fast, and then they sat there for 3 3/4 quarters. Like, good Lord, what is happening right now? Like, you're trying to give them this game. You know what I'm saying? Like, Arizona State should not have been in that game like that. And it took them one play at the end to win crazily.
Arizona State had them, and there was no doubt about it. I even predicted Arizona State to beat them. I mean, I was the crazy one that picked it. But they had them 3 or 4 times in the red zone where they just couldn't convert. Then at the end, I mean, it was 4th down and 17, 18 in overtime, and they gave it up. I mean, come on, man. Then, of course, they had that targeting call that didn't get, like Mika saying, they got robbed. I mean, but you know what? You shouldn't. Don't leave it. Don't let it come down to that. Don't put it in someone else's hands. That's why Ryan Day says leave no doubt, because you don't want to put it in an official's hands or, someone else's hands that can, end up screwing you. So,
this is how good the officiating is we've seen this year. No big deal. Hey, it's WWE style.
Is that a sleeper hold?
Yeah. Jack's taking a nap. He's going to lose the Intercontinental title match. Get out of here, dude. That's insanity, man.
Brutus the Barber Beefcake putting the sleeper on.
Sure, it seems like, golly, I don't know how much we have to pay, but we're always going to have to set forth something on the NIL fund next year to just take care of what the refs are getting paid. Because holy hell, that is wild, dude. Like at one point, one of the offensive guys literally jumped on JTT's back and rode him like a fucking donkey to the quarterback. Like no holding, no nothing, not a hands to the face, not a you looked at me wrong, nothing. Just that's legal. What?
Well, if they're gonna have the ACC refs there like they did the last 2 weeks, that's gonna be in favor of Iggy. So Iggy will be able to, there'll be 3 weeks without Iggy getting a
He's
PI.
the only one singing the praises. Like, guys, no, listen, it's really not that bad. I stopped all these passes, I promise.
All right, Tony, give me a crazy prediction. One crazy prediction that no one sees coming that you think will happen.
Crazier than Sark gets pregnant? Let's see. I say Quinn does so bad that they put in Arch, and Arch does worse.
Whoa. I'm going to go out on the limb. I'm going to say Caleb Downs or Brandon Innes returns a punt for a touchdown.
That would be epic, dude.
That is one thing that worries me about this Texas team is their return game is really strong. I mean, they scored one against ASU and they flipped the field position on them a couple times. So, I mean, we're really going to have to concentrate. It's just kind of crazy how after the season ended and this new playoff season, how our team has transformed. I mean, if you look at the beginning of the year, we started slow in every game. Now, since we got into playoffs, we start fast. We've always been a second half team. It took us to the second half to always make the adjustments. I mean, we've been great at it. I mean, we're still doing good at the halftime, but this time we're jumping out on teams. We don't have to wait to the second half to, get back into the game or to make our strong push. We're jumping on these teams and they got no chance to breathe.
No, and listen, Ohio State has historically been a slow starting team, all the way back into the Tressel era and the Cooper era. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yep.
It always was we'll get them at halftime and we'll win the second part of the battle. But now it's like Ryan Day even preaches the last 4 minutes of the first half and the first 4 minutes of the second half. We lost that against Oregon.
Yeah, we did.
That's the only time they did good. And the end of the second out of that, stepping on their throat. So, like, obviously, like, we figured something out. Like, we've hit some sort of, like, the stuff Chip Kelly's doing now, too. Like, obviously, like, we thought maybe he was holding back stuff all year, but, like, obviously, he did not even get in his bag this year. Like, because he's like, we got the talent. It's fine. Because, like, dude, that first play, from first play of that Oregon game, Oregon had no clue. Their defense looked so confused. Like, I haven't seen like high school defenses look that confused sometimes. Like, people were just looking around, yelling at each other. Nobody was covering nobody. Just stopped running for 40 yards. Like, whoa.
I mean, look at that defense, the way that they confused Gabriel. Plus, they didn't have anybody to throw it to, man. Everybody was covered. I mean, hats off to Jim Knowles with all the freaking Quinn with 8 interceptions, TG. I like it.
Listen, I'm telling you, to expand them on my Quinn thing, like literally the same thing that happened in the first Georgia game. Like Quinn's throwing garbage. They put Arch in, hot garbage. Like put Quinn back in, still garbage. Like they couldn't make up their mind.
Only thing that worries me about Arch, man, is his legs. They bring them in to run it like a wildcat package. We've had trouble containing the quarterbacks this year. That's the one knock.
We did. We have not, though. We contained Nico. We contained, Drew Aller ran a little bit on us, but he didn't run that much. Dylan Gabriel ran on us in the first game. Second game, obviously not. 8 sacks later, negative. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I think our defensive scheme is so different than when, quarterbacks were running on us. When Fat Regola was running on us.
Geez.
And Dylan Gabriel took off because, JTT just, I don't know what JTT was thinking. I don't think he knows either. Literally
He went after the dive.
Yeah. Which he'll never do again, I bet you, in his whole life. He's hitting the quarterback every trip now. Like,
Sure, it's a free shot in the quarterback, man. Take his head off. I mean,
at that point, I'd have been like, listen, I'm just hitting the quarterback out of spite now.
that's your job when you're a defensive end. They run the option. Your job is to take the quarterback out no matter what. So, it's a free hit. If he has the ball, you hammer him. If he doesn't have the ball, you still hammer him, make him wish. You hit him so hard, you make him not want to run to play again.
Yep. Yeah, you see, they didn't really run Nico after he got 2 helmets cracked. They settled down with that run Nico crap. So
hey, I'll give that kid credit, though, man. He's a gamer. He is a tough SOB. I
didn't realize he was as tall as he is, too. He's like our height. And he was moving, dude. He was like, he has that, like, Terrell Pryor speed where you, like, think he's not running because his strides are so long. Yep. And then people get up on him like, oh, God, he's running real fast.
Long strides. The kid's a baller, man. If they get him some weapons, look out, man. He could be tough.
Yeah, I agree.
But
a bunch of people transferring out of Tennessee too, though. So who knows?
A lot of people would have, tapped out with the beating he took, and he still. He kept him in the game for a while. If it wasn't for him, the running back, he tapped out. He was gone. He didn't last. And the freshman quarterback did, man, with 2 cracked helmets.
Yeah, no, he stood in there. He's a kid. Either he's really stupid because he's young, or he's gangster. Either way, respect, I guess. And yeah, look, I hope Quinn gets planted because I think if Jack or somebody like dunks Quinn on his head real quick, he's out. He'll be getting up going, I should stay at Ohio State. Nonsense. I'm out. Tap out. He's like, oh, my hamstring. Oh, my back. My neck and my back. Like, all of it.
Okay. Chat, Tony.
Yep.
Score prediction time.
What
is your prediction for tomorrow?
I say we play like, or we feel like a million. We play like a billion. Bucks by a trillion, baby. 1 trillion to 17. That's what I put in the chat last night. I'm going with today. Telling you. If we happen to win by a trillion, that's definitely going on a shirt. So
I am going 35-13. That was mine. I know my buddy Vader also put the same score. So if that becomes that's the winning score, Vader, I'll let you have the prize.
Out of him.
TG, I love it, man. 55-14. Heck yeah, man.
So crazy prediction for yours. Who do you think scores the 1 touchdown Texas scores in your game? They scored 13, they're going to score 1 touchdown. Who scores it?
I think it's going to be Isaiah Bond.
That's who I was going to say, too. Listen, I don't like – because I don't think that Jordan Blue kid's going to get – I don't think he's going to finish the game because that's, But, yeah, it'll probably be like – it'll probably be Isaiah Bond. And, like, unfortunately, it'll probably be Iggy's, like, 2nd touchdown he gives up this year. But I'm not mad at the man. He only gave up 1 touchdown. It sucks that it was that Trayshawn Holden kid that spit on him. Like, oh, that had to hurt a little bit. It sting just a bit.
Well, the way I look at it, he'll probably get the touchdown in garbage time when it's, when the game's already well and down and it's over, man. So
yeah. Here, I got another crazy prediction. We find out for sure that Wingo kid is not as good as JJ. It'll be confirmed. Crazy, I know. Who thought?
I would love to see. I want to see the total stats at the end of the game, and someone go tell that idiot from Texas that, hey, Wingo is not. Is he a good player? Yes, he is. But is he in the ballpark of JJ? No.
Listen, to be fair, like when they pull up the stats, he's gonna have more cups poured to Gatorade than JJ. he's going to know everybody's favorite color of Gatorade. I get that. We'll concede that point. But beyond the nonsense over there, because I mean, if we could put somebody on the sideline to guard him on the bench, but that seems nonsensical. Like, because he's not playing, so who cares? But that's an asinine statement.
This year, though, in college football, it's been kind of crazy with all the talented young receivers that they've had this year, freshmen start and actually make an impact. I mean, you got JJ, you got Ryan Williams, you got Wingo. You also got that kid from Notre Dame that was really tough also. So, I mean, it's kind of cool. The future of college football is bright, man.
Who knew
a lot of young stars.
Who knew at one point this year, if you'd have said, listen, the two best receivers in the country are going to be two true freshmen that are 17 and 18 years old, respectively. Like, you're like, you have lost your mind, sir. But it happened. I mean, it's good. It's going to be interesting to see the matchup today or tomorrow on essentially whoever they put on JJ, because they did shut Ryan Williams out for a hot second. They didn't have any long passes in that game. You know what I'm saying? It took, you know what I'm saying, it took a minute to get going and stuff. So, like, I want to see, like, I mean, if you shut JJ down, like, I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'll do something really outlandish to shut JJ down, because that's wild to me that, like, nobody else is able to, and this kid's going to. Shenanigans.
I pray that they put man-to-man they go man-to-man with JJ, because no one can shut him down one-on-one. He will eat.
Zone too, so it doesn't matter.
That boy will destroy whoever they put on. So please, Texas, feel free to play man-to-man, but I think they're going to probably do what Michigan and bracket him all game. But JJ still go find the soft spots.
Listen, you can put 6 people on JJ, and from the nipples up, he's open. Promise. Like, you throw it anywhere between here and 9 feet in the air, JJ's open. Like, you know? So, like, and literally, look, I don't care if you double him. Like, he double moved that safety from Oregon so bad that people were like, it's a broken coverage. Like, no, it's a broken ankle. That's what happened. Like,
I mean, if you look, though, they're going to pay so much attention to JJ that Emeka, Carnell, and the other boys are going to eat too. So I think this game is going to get out of hand, and I think it might be close for a quarter, but I think we're going to jump out so much, and they're not going to be, by the halftime, they're not going to realize what hit them. They're going to be so far behind. They'll be seeing stars.
Yep. Look, so I would like to say, with one more, like, everybody give like one more outlandish prediction, but make it like plausible. Like, do not say like space aliens score a touchdown unless you're talking about JJ. That's the only one that counts. Like, mine is, I just thought of this too, because they've done it before. Not that it worked great, but they've done it before, and I think it might catch some people off guard. Will Kazmarek on the end around touchdown. I just don't think it affects him on the 4-yard line, because he's not the fastest white man on the planet, but he will rumble and stumble and fumble, or not fumble, but tumble. That's it. Tumble is what I'm looking for, into the end zone on an end around, and we'll have the slowest tight end on a running play for a touchdown.
All right, I got one. Fake field goal for a touchdown.
Ooh.
We haven't seen one yet this year.
How far out?
I say 35 yards out.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. And who's he throw it to? Who's James Dillon, who's only been able to kick in the last 2 weeks?
It's going to be either Ennis or, G. Scott or Kazm. It's going to be one of those big, bigger guys.
I'll put our two together. Fake field goal is thrown to Brandon Ennis. That's the one touchdown I said Brandon Ennis scores.
I can live with that. Or it'd be cool to see a
prediction.
Or a punt fake for, I'd like to see him run. We haven't seen any fakes this year, so it'd be nice to see Ryan Day throw that into the mix there.
Special again, man.
Pull that out of the bag, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, tonight's game. Chat, I want to see what everybody's thinking tonight. I think Notre Dame will win tonight. I think it's going to be a good game. I think it'll probably be 28-14, 28-17. Notre Dame.
Man, I don't want to see Penn State in the national championship game just because we played them again. Not that I think we'll lose. It feels like we play Penn State every other week at this point. But I'm not, with as bad as Notre Dame's offense looks, and is just Riley Leonard. and I heard Abdul Carter might not play, whatever, but like, still, like, Penn State does have an offense, and they've been users this year. You know what I'm saying? They looked halfway decent, like, you know, in the Oregon game. I know it wasn't that close, but like, and then, you know, in the first round game, they looked good. So, like, I don't know. It's so hard to pick, dude. Like, I do think it's going to probably be a weird low scoring game, like 24-17, 24-21, 24-23, something like that. But somehow I think James Franklin squeaks in, like, because that's how chaotic this year's been, that, like, James Franklin will sneak into the national championship game. Now, he'll James Franklin it somehow, or he'll just get beat straight up by Ryan Day because Ryan Day owns his whole soul. Yeah. But I still think he sneaks in the back door and it's like, see, look, I'm here. Screw you guys.
Hey, man, imagine what the SEC would do if it was another Big Ten national championship. 2 years in a row that an SEC team didn't make it. I mean, either way, I mean, Notre Dame's independent. They're not going to, you know.
They're basically a Big Ten team. I consider Notre Dame Big Ten because, I mean, they're in the middle of all the Big Ten schools. Like, they've been talking about coming to the Big Ten forever. Marcus Freeman, like, you know what I'm saying? They only run the ball. Like, absolutely a Big Ten school at this point. So, like, yeah, like, dude, it could be an all Big Ten national championship. Like, no, and we're about to eliminate the last SEC team. Like, how much does you think every heart south of Kentucky hurts, or even just south of us hurts? Like, they're just holding each other and crying into their beers, talking about, bless my heart, the SEC is not the best team. That's the best conference in the USA. Oh, Lord.
Paul Feinbaum will be down there. Someone better check on that guy. Probably going to have a stroke.
Man.
No, I think the key will be, though, tonight, watching the game, I think it's going to be Penn State's defensive line against Notre Dame's offensive line. That's going to be the key matchup. If Notre Dame can run the ball on Penn State and control it, it's over.
Yeah, listen, I really hope it is Notre Dame, like, because then we will have completed like a bunch of revenge things this year, and this will be the longest lasting revenge thing that we should have played these guys and beaten them in 2012 for a national championship. But Gene Smith's an idiot and didn't give us our we got the self-imposed bowl ban, and so we got screwed. So this is coming back 12 years later, getting that natty that should have went up there then. Just, you know what I'm saying? Getting what's owed to us. Notre Dame is slow. Notre Dame is so slow.
Well, I see they got the flu too, so
I mean, dude, everybody's got the flu apparently. Like,
man, see, with me, when it comes to Notre Dame, they're like the second team on my list that I hate. I mean, Michigan's first, but then there's Notre Dame because I consider Notre Dame just like Michigan, man. They're arrogant, they're cocky, they live off the past. I mean, they think their crap don't stink. I mean, they always get rated high every year, and this is like the first year in a long time that they've actually kind of lived up to their ranking. I mean, they're always ranked. I mean, because everybody's like, oh, Notre Dame, we got to put them in the top 10 every year. They've been horrible the last few years. I mean, you lose to Northern Illinois this year, which was hilarious. But I expect them to, with Marcus Freeman, that he will actually have 11 people on the field at the end. And I think they will. James Franklin pull James Franklin and screw the game up somehow.
Listen, I say that, like, Notre Dame to me is like they're not the Northern Illinois. Like, they're like the Jim Brown of Lincoln Riley's. And, James Franklin is just James Franklin because he's, like, there's people that are the Michael Day of James Franklin, but James Franklin's still James Franklin because, I mean, like, you can't unsee that whole nonsense of what he's got going on. Like, he's the tippy top of the, like, 10-2, almost could have done it. That's why I think they're probably going to make it. And he's still like, see, I made it here, and I lost again to Ryan Day. Damn.
Hey, I'm going to give a shout out to the one of the only Michigan fans that I can stand, and I think is a really good guy, and that's Burks. Burks says Michigan and Notre Dame are twins. So, Burks, you're always welcome on this channel, buddy. So, feel free to come in any of our shows. We like you here. We like having you around. You're a good dude. Everybody can give them crap in the chat, but no personal attacks, guys. Burks is a good one, so remember that.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, listen, I mean, Marcus Freeman has proved in his tenure, he's kind of, you know what I'm saying? He's kind of like the LeBron of James Franklin. Because, like, you know what I'm saying? He literally is trying to outdo the Michael Jordan of James Franklin. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to outdo that by being the LeBron of James Franklin. Because, like, he's losing to Marshall and, you know, goes to Illinois and then come back and beat people he's not supposed to be beating. Like, what is happening?
I mean, honestly, he really hasn't had that tough of a schedule this year. I mean, A&M wasn't what everybody thought they were going to be. I mean, Indiana was tough. Yes, Indiana was tough, but come on, man. They're not in the same league as Oregon. They're not Tennessee. They're not Bama. They're not all these other. I mean, they're not even Penn State, man. So who has Notre Dame really played? I mean, besides, it's going to be Penn State. I mean, this will be their big test. Yeah, and I actually, I'll give them credit. I think they can beat them. I think they squeak one out tonight. But if Penn State wins, my hat's off to James Franklin.
Yeah. To be fair, though, like, Indiana is tough-ish. They're like, Indiana's like the Tiger Woods of Penn State. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're kind of the best.
Indiana's just getting their first taste of, what it's like to be in the playoffs and getting their chance to play big boy football. They're finally like graduating into the big leagues this year.
Yeah, listen, Kurt Signetti did a wonderful, wonderful magician job and got hurt. You know what I'm saying? And we'll see how it holds up next year. You know what I'm saying? If he can build a program, that's fine. Or if he can just bring a bunch of people from a random school that he knows is good, we'll see.
Well, he's bringing in another good quarterback from the portal, man. So, I mean look out.
Yeah, Lane Kiffin's doing the same thing, too. We see how Lane Kiffin, you know what I'm saying? Like, Kurt Signetti is like the, you know what I'm saying? Like the Magic Johnson of Lane Kiffin. You know what I'm saying? He's for real.
I mean, Lane hasn't really made it work too well down there, has he? I mean, he's choked away a lot of. I mean, he's choked a lot. We'll put it that way. But he continues to run his mouth, which I don't get. So you win something, Lane, you should keep your mouth shut.
Dude,
kind of like these Oregon fans, all year. They're still chirping, man. You guys haven't won a natty yet. Shut up.
Yeah. Their two best seasons have been ended by us in the playoffs. So what are we talking about? But, listen, like, I think Lane Kiffin and Lincoln Riley, like, are in competition for choke master of the century. And that's the thing. They walk around. I want to know who their, like, psychiatrist is or whatever, because they walk around with the craziest confidence and entitlement about how great they are. Like, they will go out there and blow everything. Pause. And then they will literally walk out of the press conference and be like, listen, we played a great game. Like, I don't know what game you watched, dude, but that was not it. That was not the game I watched because nothing about it was great in your losing effort to choke and lose with Miller Moss.
Hey, man, I'm surprised. I am actually surprised that James Frank, granted, Penn State was given an easy bracket to get their way here to the semis, but hey, man, he still won the games. He didn't blow it like he usually does, and he got it here to the Final Four. And same with Marcus Freeman. So one of those guys, no matter what we think about him, one of them's going to end up playing in the championship game, which is a shocker compared to what everybody else thought was going to happen and everybody else predicted in the beginning of the year. So,
well, dude, think about it. Like, a first-time national championship coach is going to be crowned this year.
Yeah.
Like, and one of them could be James Franklin.
Wow.
We're living in a bizarro world. What? Sark, yeah, great mind. Ryan Day, great mind. Like, Marcus Freeman, like, super upper coming. Like, has only choked a little bit. But, like, boy, James Franklin. Wow. Like, it's just to hear him play in the national championship game, dude, like, oh, God. Like, we're never going to hear the end of it now. Like, I really do the Independent State sometimes, but now that they got the 12-team playoffs, they're like, see, we're going to be in here every year. National championship or bust. Like, it's going to be bust, but, like, you're here, so you get the T-shirt stuff. It's fine.
Though, if you're looking, though, the Big Ten has really taken a step up now. You look at the recruiting rankings. I mean, Wisconsin's in it. I mean, Illinois is making strides. Oregon, Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State. I mean, all these it's amazing. I mean,
when they legalize cheating on an SEC level, everybody gets good. Isn't that crazy? It's a parody in college football now that everybody can do what the SEC's been doing for 100 years. Weird.
It's funny that Georgia's crying that Ohio State's down there trying to get one of their players, and they crying about Ohio State trying to buy players. I'm like, you guys have been handing McDonald's bags full of cash to recruits for years, and now that it's all level, you guys can't handle it.
Right. Now that everybody can buy all the gold Camaros and bags of cash for everybody and tamper with people like coming out into the transfer portal, like now that everybody does that, the landscape looks a lot smoother now, doesn't it? It looks a lot closer. And the Big Ten, which everybody said like could be the best conference going forward, like now that like the playing field's even, smashing people out. Like,
well, what really helped was the transfer portal.
Yeah,
you know, that really sped things up. And a shout out to our girl TG. She brought this up, and I agree with her. There's a point that I totally see eye to eye with her on. The transfer portal did make things, you know, made the transition a lot quicker. So you can just go out, grab these guys, and bam, your team's, you know, able to compete with everybody else.
It's that crazy.
Well, Tony, we've been on for about 45 minutes now.
Yes, sir.
Game's going to start in about 45 minutes. So if anybody wants to go get their food or whatever, get ready to watch this awesome Orange Bowl tonight. Yeah,
we're going to get ready. We're going to knock it out. We're going to watch a little bit of football. And then probably as soon as that game's over, I'm going to go put on the outfit that I would put on normally in the morning tonight just to make sure it's all set in and we're good. You know what I'm saying? We're wearing Scarlet jerseys, right?
Yeah, we're wearing the Scarlet jerseys.
Right. So I'm going to wear the all Scarlet outfit this week. And, you know what I'm saying? You know, like Chris Fowler said, I'll be crimson from head to toe.
Crimson, yeah.
It's a crimson avalanche. Like, where? Alabama's playing? Oh, they're losing. That's fine. So, crazy.
I got my JJ red jersey that I wear for every game. So I'll have that on. And like Christmas Eve, bro. I mean, tomorrow's Christmas. Tonight we get a little taste of some football and see who we're going to match up with, you know, for the championship, hopefully. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Everything comes out like it should.
But yeah, I'm telling you, when we reconfirm the fact that Ryan Day has gone full like horror movie villain, he's never allowed to go back. I'm back in, but he goes back to Sissy Ryan Day, and I'm out. Like he's a full on like, you know, MK Ultra like flip the switch like killer, like, you know, John Claude Van Damme just snapping people's necks in a heartbeat killer. That's it. Just you gotta embrace it, bro. Be your serial killer now. It's fine.
Hey,
you ain't got feelings. It's cool. Go.
Hey man, like they say, like Cobra Kai says, you know, show no mercy. No mercy.
Right.
No mercy, Ryan Day.
You didn't show no mercy to these teams in the playoffs. Like, why are we showing Marshall mercy? Let's go. Just go kill. Go kill, come back. We're good.
To all our friends and family in the chat, thank you for coming in and supporting us. We appreciate you guys. We wouldn't be here without you guys. And please like and subscribe if you haven't. And please share with your friends. Get the word out. I'm Sean. That's my homeboy, Tony. And we're the Buckeye Boys Mafia Sitdown. We appreciate you guys, and we will see you soon.
OH.
IO.
There we go.